relax a bit on this one, but really get to the bottom of what's going on when you're running a business. Now this is usually starts off when you're a small business, but the mentality doesn't always change, and it just goes from one area to the next. So what I'm going to talk to you about is actually saving money. And really what I want to talk to you about is not saving money at all. You see, this is what happens. You start off your business and you have good financial controls, which is fine. I'm not going to say don't have good financial controls. But you get to grow your business to a certain level. Let's say it's 100 grand, let's say it's 150, let's say it's 200,000. And when there's a little bit of pressure on your business, maybe there's a change in legislation, maybe a new competitor's opened, or maybe a member of staff has left or something like that, your instant reaction is to contract and be smaller. And what you do is you then start controlling your costs. Now you should always have control over your costs, but they are not the way for you to actually make money. You know, you can control your costs. I usually say to my clients, okay, let's look at your costs, get your accounts out, let's save money here, 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 let's do them, we're finished. I'm not going to be discussing these with you again this year. Okay, it's that's how much control you need over your costs. Once you've checked your electric, your water, your gas, all that sort of stuff, you don't need to check it again. Your colour tubes aren't jumping up by £5 a week, they're jumping up by 20p. So get a grip on your costs, and then please, let's forget about them. I know this is going to be sounding odd coming from a business coach. You'd think I'd want you to have control over every single penny. I want you to have awareness over what you're spending, but there are bigger things in your business that you need to be focusing on. So first of all, do not run your business by trying to save money. Now the reason I say this is because trying to save money is almost impossible, because let's say today we go through all your costs and we cut them all back to the minimum. Well, within a few months, a few weeks, you've got inflation growing, and you've got, whatever it is, a VAT increase or whatever. They're growing as quick as you can save back on them. And this is not going to develop your business, and it's not going to actually create any financial wealth for you. So yes, check your costs, but please, that's it. Forget about it now. Don't go on about managing your costs, managing your costs, managing your costs. You know, the average wage in the UK is about £28,000. Now imagine you could save every single penny of that, and that's impossible, isn't it? But even if you could save every single penny of it, it would take you 35 years to become a millionaire. Let's say you could save half of it. That's probably impossible as well. That would take you 70 years to become a millionaire. And can you imagine how much £1 million would actually be worth to you in 70 years' time? It's probably going to be worth half that. So you really still haven't achieved, that financial freedom you want to. So maybe it's 150 years, maybe it's 200 years. So what I'm saying is, on the average salon wage, or the average wage that's taken in the UK, saving is never, ever, ever going to get you to become a millionaire. Now I know some of you are going to watch this and be thinking, look, I don't want to be a millionaire, I'm not really bothered at all. But I also know that there's a lot of you in my inbox, on my emails, on my free videos, whatever you are, on my TV on a Wednesday night, and lots of you have got financial problems. So if you're one of those people who think that you've got financial problems and you're going to save your way out of it, I'm going to cut back a couple of hours on my staff, I'm going to cut my training back, I'm going to cut back on my utilities. Maybe, as I went to a recent place, they decided that they won't have a PDQ terminal anymore and they'll just go cash. You can't do it, guys. You can't save your way to being financially successful. Now, if you're working on your own, I know that, of course, you have a lot of control over what you spend, and maybe you're one of those people that want to live in the the lifestyle world. Look, you carry on, but for the rest of you that are going to work with me, I'm talking about salons and spas and barbershops that have got 8 and 10 and 15 and 20 staff. I'm talking about people who've got turnover, of 100,000, 400,000, 500,000 pounds. You guys have got to stop thinking about this, I'm going to save, I'm going to save, I'm going to save, you're never going to get there. Get control over your costs and then forget about it. You see, what you should be doing is you need to be diverting the sales money back into the business. So this is the second problem that comes up all the time, and you can watch it in other people's business. Maybe you live in an estate or a street, and you'll see people who have got money coming in, and where does that money go straight away? You watch them. The first thing they do is they got a big brand new car on the drive, haven't they? They got the latest Jag or the latest BMW. And where are they off on their holidays? Yeah, they're on, cruises around the world or something like that, okay? They're spending their money as quickly as they can get it. Now, if they're working for someone else, then that's up to them. But I'm talking about you as a business. If you're a business owner and you are getting in a good remuneration, your wage or your drawings or whatever you're going to call it is of a good level, then fantastic, that's great on you. But I see this so many times. I see businesses set up, and I help a lot of you to set them up in the first place, and I help you maybe for 1 year, maybe for 2 years, and I know we are absolutely flying. And then look, I hand the baton over to you and I go off and work with someone else. And when I watch you in the next few years, of course I'm proud of what you're doing, but I see that lots of your lifestyles are not in tune with your business. So whilst you're building this business, all the money you are generating needs to go back into the business. And when I say that, I don't mean you'll put it in the business and save. I mean it goes back into the business to invest. I know you've got to take money out for yourself, and yes, you do need a car and you do need a house to live in. But whilst you are rewarding yourself for a year's hard work or 2 years hard work with a Jaguar, when you could have bought an Astra, okay, you have lost 50 or 60,000 pounds or whatever it is that could have gone into your business. For years and years and years and years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you've got to be putting every single spare penny back into your business. Now, I've already told you not to be saving, okay? You can't save in your personal life. You can't save your way to £1 million, okay? Not at £28,000 a year. Okay, if you're on £1 million a week, then it's easy. But for the average person, you can't save your way there. So the same in the actual business. Instead of taking money out and rewarding yourself, in the early years, build yourself a bulletproof business. Build yourself a business that will stand up to things like recession, that will stand up to things like legislation change. You've got to build a business. When you've got a fantastic business where almost nothing can touch it, when 3 or 4 salons open in your town or your street, on the high street, you'll know that you've built the right business when your income isn't changing, when the sales revenue isn't changing, or maybe still growing, and your personal life isn't affected. So the same for your business. You can't save all that money in your business until it's a massive pot and then take it out and reward yourself. I mean, you're going to get high taxation on that if nothing else, but that aside, yes, you want to save some money. I don't know what it is for your size business, but you do want to save, maybe 10, 15, 20,000 pounds, and you want that in the business, for your tax bills, for the unforeseen issues. But I'm talking more. Don't keep saving the money in the business. What you need to be doing is you need to be reinvesting it. Okay, it's got to go back into your business every week. Now you need to schedule how that reinvestment goes. Don't just slap it in all the time. Don't randomly think, I got a spare £1,000, I'll wham it onto Facebook advertising. That's not what I mean either. I'm talking about having deliberate growth, a deliberate strategy. This is what I would do with you if I were your coach. You and I would have a deliberate strategy for the next 12 months, for the next 2 years. We'd have your ambitions in mind. Where do we want this business in 5 years? Okay, maybe 10 years. Do you want 1 salon? Do you want 3 salons? Do you want a 4-story salon? Do you need 6 staff? Do you want 200 staff? Whatever it is, you've got to be working towards that. Now, when you're doing that, you've got to make sure that this investment is coming back into the business all the time. Now, this investment means that you put some money aside, we got that, means that you are putting money, first of all, I would be investing in you. I'd be investing in myself. So if you got, more money than you need in the business, don't take it out and run off and buy a car, or run off and buy your third holiday for the year, or run off and buy, your children another Xbox. It's not time to reward yourself, guys. The first 5 or 10 years is not the time to be rewarding yourself if you want to have a solid business for the future. So all this money should be in the business. And yes, I would be using absolutely tons of it, a high proportion of it, on remarketing my business. And this isn't a marketing video, this is just to say to you guys, stop diverting the money into your personal account. And I know some of you are not getting any money at all, and that's a different discussion. But for those of you who are diverting it, just look out the window now of your shop and have a look what car you're driving. And even if that's a lease car, you could have had a car that was half the amount on lease. Okay, so don't say, oh, I didn't buy it, Carl, it was on lease. It's still costing you £300-400 a month when you could have had something for £200 a month. I'm not going to tell you what car I drive, but anybody who knows me knows that I practice what I preach when it comes to reinvestment. Okay, so make sure you're investing in your business. So that means investing first of all in yourself. Maybe that is coaching, but it could just be you're getting yourself onto educational courses. It could mean that you're trying to learn new skills. It could mean that you're just learning to be a great business manager. Invest in your staff. Make sure that they are trained, consistently well. Make sure you're investing in your physical business. You don't need a refurbishment every 2 years. Often refurbishments aren't a good way to use your money, but you do need to keep the standards up. There's no point opening with a lovely shiny shop for it to only be falling apart with ripped seats and backwashes that don't work after 2 or 3 years, because those customers aren't going to stick with you. So you're going to stop diverting the money out of the business into your lifestyle, and you're not going to save it in your business either. I don't want to come into your business and see 300,000 or 200,000 or 100,000 saved in your business account. I don't know what kind of weather you're having, but it's a very, very big rainy day if you're just sitting on this money. The only time I want to see you saving 50,000, 80,000 is when we are planning, or you are planning, for growth. Maybe you need a massive deposit for your next shop. If that's the way you're going, then sure, have 100,000 in it, but that's not saving, that's just investing, that's just getting it ready, and then you're going to reinvest it. Okay? This investment thing, guys, is absolutely, completely and utterly essential. I don't want to divert this video, because if you are one of those people who are not taking any money home at all, or maybe £100 a week, I'm talking about salon owners. And there's going to be salon owners on here thinking, no, that they can't exist, Carl. Well, I tell you, they do. And they're probably about 4 out of 10 salon owners getting absolutely tiny amounts of money, or sometimes none at all. For you guys, maybe one of you just send me a click on the link and say, what do we do? And I'll do a separate video for that, because there's no need for you to be in that situation. I guarantee if you're taking no money home, I could help you turn that around in a few hours. Honestly, in a few hours, as long as you take my advice, I could make sure that you've personally got a salary, got a wage within the next couple of weeks. But anyway, this video is not for that. This video is for those of you who are getting some money out of the business and you're diverting it either into your personal life when you shouldn't be, or into the business and it's sat there. Now later on, once you've made it, once you've got to your ambition, once you've got financial security, once the business is rock solid, then of course we divert more and more out. That makes sense. You're running a business for financial gain, and you're running it for financial security. Okay, that's why I run this business. It's for financial security for myself and my family. So make sure, don't divert out of the business, okay, in the first few years whilst you're building it. And don't save it in the business. It's not doing anything unless you've got a planned investment within the business. Make sure you're reinvesting all the time, and make sure you've got a plan for where that investment is going. Don't just say, I remember Carl saying, I got to spend all this. I don't want to go to, as I went to recently, to someone's colour room where they had about £25,000 worth in stock. Not even retail products. I'm not talking about retail. I'm talking about color tubes and peroxides and foil. 25,000, guys. So that's not an investment either. That is just money tied up that you could be investing in marketing, you could be investing in training, you could be investing in anything in your business. Now the last part of this video, and it's all related, because what I told you at the beginning is I don't want you to save money, because I see you saving money by, I'll cut back on my color tubes. I've seen people recently changing their colors from a big brand, something like L'Oreal I think it was, down to a secondary or a tertiary, as I call them, a real budget brand, for no other reason than the cost of the color tube. Now, if you were to ask me what color brand should I move to, it will depend on where you live. You might think that's a really odd angle to be taking. And the reason is because of where you live. And that's why I never link up with these color companies, because they're not right for everyone. Every salon has a different kind of value. Because of where you live, the most important thing when you link up with a color house or you can link up with a supplier is the support. It's not the color tube. The color tube, okay, I know that some color tubes are £8 or £9 and 50ml, and some are £4 and 100ml, and that's a big consideration. But a bigger consideration is what support are you going to be getting off these guys over the next couple of years. If they're going to be rolling into your salon 3-4 times a year, helping you with your color training, that price difference isn't going to make any difference, because you're going to get that back in sales. Okay? If they've got an academy, 5 miles away, 10 miles away, that you can go down to 6 times a year, you can send your juniors, you can get a color degree, that price difference isn't going to make no difference. That training is much, much more important. Otherwise, you end up on a budget brand and you don't know what to do with it. And I know that's true because I'm on enough forums to see you all out there asking questions about color knowledge all the time. And I gotta be honest, when I had my 4 salons, if I'd seen any of my team on a forum asking those questions, I think, generally speaking, I'd be disappointed that they didn't have that knowledge or they hadn't gained it from or through the color houses. The forums have got their place from time to time, but I'm just saying. So, don't save money. Don't try and make your business successful through saving money. This is what I'm trying to get at. Reducing your price on your color tubes. I've seen people, sorry to say this, importing things like nail varnish from China, okay? And gels and that sort of stuff. God, it is cheap. It is so cheap. I've seen people bringing in these hair fibers by the pallet, okay, to control that cost. Now, I'm not saying that it's not the sensible thing to do. Any sensible business owner will have a control, but that's not where you're ever going to be successful. So, the crux of this video and the crux of your business is always, always, always going to be growing your sales. Let's say your costs today are £25,000, £30,000, £50,000 a year to run your business. And let's say we can cut it back by £10,000. Great, £40,000. I'm stuck now. I'm got to spend £40,000 whatever I do. There's nothing else I can do to help your business if that's the way you want to operate. However, my sales don't ever have to stop. If you're a £200,000 salon today, there's nothing stopping you being a £300,000 salon next year. Your costs are still going to be £40,000 to £50,000. So now you're growing. You grow your sales to £400,000. Your costs are not growing, okay, at the same rate. You must focus on sales. Sales is the only thing that gives you everything you want. You're only going to get financial stability from having bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger sales. If you're off, dedicated every single day of your life, investing your time in growing sales, and let's say you look at your costs once or twice a year, maybe you haven't got time anymore to look at them. So what? Let's say they've grown by 10% while you got your eye off the ball. Well, they're only gone up by £4,000. Okay, they've only jumped from 40 to 44. Oh wow, I've missed £4,000. No, because you've been focused. My sales are now £50,000 higher, or 70,000, or 80,000. And And if you listen to me and you take on board things like retailing as well, look, this sales figure is going to be out of this world. You won't believe how much money you can generate. From a discussion I had with someone earlier today, what I would like to say to you on sales is, the reason you never grow your business, the reason you never grow your sales is because of you. It's always the salon owner who stops themselves from growing. Otherwise, if it was, I don't know, a recession, if it was Brexit, if it was VAT, if it was the cost of colour tubes, if it was the new licensing laws for tenants, then that would mean that none of these other salon owners that have got all the same problems would be successful. And I deal with lots and lots and lots of successful business owners. And you know the difference between the person that phones me or messages me and say, look, the lovely lady today saying, look, the whole barbering industry is now so tough. Yeah, but 4 or 5 days ago, I was working with a barber shop that was taking absolutely massive sales. He's in the same, he's not in the same high street as you, but he's in the same high streets as everyone else. Okay? He's got the same legislation, and the difference is he gets up in the morning and he focuses essentially on what it takes to create the sale. That's what he does. He doesn't stand on the back of a chair cutting hair all day. He focuses on, what do I need to do to create this sale? Maybe it's staff training, he doesn't do it, he organizes it. Maybe it's marketing, he doesn't do it, he organizes it. Okay, you get the idea? So from this video, what I want you to take is this. If you are the salon, if you are the business owner that wants to have financial freedom, I want to have money to do whatever I want, whenever I want. Okay, that's what I live for. I want myself and my family to be able to do what they want, whenever they want. That's my overall kind of guide. If you're that person in your salon, then forget about making your costs smaller. Check them today and let's forget about them for the next year. Okay? Then put every ounce of your life into growing your sales every single week, every single day, every single hour. Go sales, sales, sales. Don't let VAT be your barrier. There's no reason for it. Just get a grip on your retailing and get a grip on growing fast. If you're going to hang around the 85, 90 grand for 6 months, you're going to feel the pain. So that's it. I want you to focus on nothing but sales and sales and sales. How do I grow my sales? The answers will come back to things like marketing, it'll come back to training, it'll come back to maybe getting a coach. Whatever it comes back to, go and do it. It's all about the sales. Have a great week and focus on your sales.